Welcome to the conclusion and the further application of the art of candle visualization. We are almost at the end of this incredible journey, and what a journey it has been. I have been practicing with you every step of the way, and I most certainly feel a massive effect, a lot of energy, and also a little tired from doing all these visualizations together with you. So that brings us to a wonderful first way to conclude this entire course and also concludes each individual lesson. You want to make sure that you nourish yourself. Remember to eat a little bit, drink a little bit. Even though you are, in essence, just imagining, visualizing, you're in your mind and your body is still, can use up a lot of energy. And in particular, with working with a flame, you might watch, pun intended, not to burn yourself out. So rest up, eat something nourishing, drink enough water, and do something else also. Let your focus wander, go have fun, play around outside, watch some funny memes, whatever helps you to kind of cool off from the practice and return to yourself. This is honestly very important to remember if you do any kind of transformative or skill building practices that are not in and of itself about nourishment and relaxation. So this whole course is really a lot of it about doing. Now, as you might also have noticed, visualization can go in all sorts of different directions. So here, honestly, these were just a couple of ways of doing things. You might have noticed, especially in the last 3 lessons, where we got more creative and worked on transforming elements of our life and worked with the flame within, that you felt maybe other images arising or other journeys that called forth to you, or other metaphors. Like, for example, we put everything that we wanted to transform in our lives on a pile of logs. Maybe there's a different imagery that arose that speaks more strongly to you. And I strongly invite you and encourage you to explore those imageries, to work with what comes naturally to you or what is most evocative to you, because then your visualizations will have a much larger impact on you. You can definitely also work with your inner child and explore that further. Maybe there are certain impactful memories where you felt on top of life. Those are memories you can draw on to strengthen your visualizations. And also, you can always create mood boards or have a particular image or surround yourself with particular objects that feel empowering towards what you want to visualize. Now, the flame is also only one way of doing it. There are so many metaphors around us. Everything around us can be worked with as a metaphor that you might feel inclined to explore some of those. For example, a tree. The tree is not just a tree. It's not just a birch tree or an oak tree. It is also a symbol for the entire world and the multiverse in some forms of thought. There are so many myths around trees, so many ideas we have of trees, their strength, their capacity to keep growing even when parts are cut down, and so forth. So you can explore the world around you and study it in the same way that you studied the candle flame, to be able to work with it in your mind's eye as you visualize. For example, there are many meditations that are about aligning and centering and strengthening your core and your center that work with the imagery or the symbol, the life that is a tree. So you could go out and study the tree in great detail and get to know it in the same way as you did the candle. And of course, you can do that with anything else. So we went pretty creative of some of the lessons and explored the impossible, The more you study the world around you with all your senses, the more you can play with it in your visualizations to generate what feels like is impossible and perhaps make some of it possible in your life. Such a wonderful way to get started. When we get comfortable with impossible visions, like for some of us, it feels almost impossible to imagine having success with your own company. If you feel comfortable in your mind's eye with this vision, it makes it much easier to dedicate yourself with full 100% showing up to it effort in your daily life, because you can, the thing you're after has become palpable to you. So that's some of the ways in which you can apply the previous lessons to all sorts of stepping stones towards visualization. Now, I am super grateful that you went through this course. I want to also send out a heartfelt thank you for you showing up to this. I really hope you feel empowered to play with visualization. I hope you feel empowered to not just see it as like this serious skill, but notice also how play is such a vitalizing aspect of becoming excellent at a skill. And I hope you also were gentle with yourself. Not all of us see some of the things, we feel them more, or we have the sense of knowing that it is present in our mind's eye. Not everything is always the way it seems. So I hope you also got to get to know yourself better and how you envision things in your mind's eye. Maybe you also notice certain blockages or areas you want to work on. Now, those are always amazing opportunities to move further along in life or get comfortable with parts of ourselves we weren't previously comfortable with, or learn to be more gentle and kind to ourselves. As with any skill, we are all at different stages. We all have different abilities, and that just makes the world even more beautiful. I love this metaphor that all the world, all the universe, all of existence is this grand jewel. And jewels, they have all these facets, each of them shining, each of them doing their own part to create a greater whole. And in that same way, we all are one facet of the jewel. So if we make ourselves shiny and shine bright in whatever way we are, we just make the greater whole more beautiful. So however this visualization course worked out for you, it is great. Keep going. Ask your questions below if you want. And how cool that we all got to visualize together and get to know a candle flame in such an incredible way. This, honestly, if you are big, one more thing, if you are big on keeping the inner child alive and experiencing the world with a sense of awe and wonder, one of the keys is to see it as if it's all new over and over again. That's what is one of the parts what makes a child's life so incredibly magical. And when we engage all of our senses and our mental faculties, our emotional faculties, and getting to know our surroundings, we are keeping this inner child alive. We are keeping our world filled with wonder, and we are connecting and building relationship to our world in a way that often can become very stunted during adult life. So hooray, I want to celebrate that most of all, and I hope whatever you choose to visualize, may it add to the wonders of this world. Thank you for being here.